Turn 8 is now complete. HBG's Global War 1939. And the CCP is back with a guy. The Russian capital, the second Russian capital, fell. Russia took it back with one tank against one artillery. Doesn't matter, they're going to lose it again. This will be the last Russian land unit in the game, except for a lone partisan that popped up. So Japan did kick out the US with their two guys so they couldn't go running around doing what they wanted. As you can see, Japan is now being kicked out of China. Actually, no, they're 100% kicked out of China. And now they're losing. They don't have a lot left on the land. There's not a lot of reinforcements. Over here, Japan's consolidating their navy. Although the U.S. doesn't have enough yet to kill the Japanese Navy. But if the U.S. keeps it up, then Japan's never going to... Eventually, Japan will lose. As long as the U.S. keeps putting $80 a turn into Japan, Japan can only spend about $70 a turn. Although this turn they're going to go down too because the Australians are breaking out with their corvettes and infantry, elite infantry. Now all these little islands here are going to start falling. Slow. It's slow, but it's happening, and Japan's not going to be able to take this stuff back. I think the game is eventually going to end up, well, no, I know where the game's going to end up. It's going to be, theoretically, I should say, there's a lot of game left. We're 60% done. The Philippines will be, it's a victory city. Hong Kong is a victory city. Singapore is a victory city, but Japan's just never going to get down there now, unless the U.S. changes direction. It's so hard to drop Japan or to kill Japan. It's so hard to bring the war straight to Japan. So it'll probably come down to the Philippines, Hong Kong, Shanghai, and Peking. Yeah, we'll see. They'll come down to these three cities for victory cities, I think. And of course, it'll also come down to Cairo. If I had to guess, I would guess that eventually Cairo is going to fall. Italy is now starting to make a little bit of headway. And the Kriegsmarine are now starting to bring in 4 units a turn into Tobruk, into Africa, trying to get Cairo. Not sure how that's going to work out. It's a long war. U.S. made a tiny landing into Africa from South America. Probably not going to stay with that war. Not sure what I'm doing, and I'm not sure what's going to happen. Now, Spain is interesting. There's always kind of a beeline to go for get into Madrid. There's some ping pong, but get into Madrid so you can get this navy that's here. This navy here will be the navy that probably decides well, it'll definitely have a lot of influence for Cairo. There's a big navy here, and if Germany can get into here, but can they? Now, Germany's... There's a lot to say about Germany. Too much. I don't want to get too technical. They're coming down. They're going for... They're coming down here. Germany's coming on down. So much, in fact, that the UK and the Commonwealth, they're just getting distracted, and now they're coming this way. Now, these units aren't going to be enough, but they can slow it down, and there's probably going to be some battles, some ping-ponging in here. I can't let... I mean, Germany's so strong that it's possible that maybe they could go Calcutta. So, trying to get ahead of a Calcutta crush via Germany and just direct them towards Cairo. We'll see what happens. It's expensive. You got to build fast movers. You're probably going to build mechs for Germany. Probably going to build all mechs in artillery and various special units and just pour them out of here. Probably 3 a turn. It's not a lot. But I can't right now because there's way too much going on in Europe. Germany has a choice right now. And basically, this spot has, I don't know, 5 fast movers in it. But the UK wasn't able to take it back. That's really bad for the Allies because now all these units that are in Western Germany, again, there's not a lot of units in there, maybe 10 land units. But they're good land units, and they're enough land units that they can now kick out all the Allies. The Allies can be entirely kicked out of France and out of Italy. But it's going to be costly. I mean, the only way that Germany can do this is they have 9 planes. Germany has a choice right now. And I don't actually know what to do. The way it's set up, it's kind of hard to tell, but it's really hard to tell. Germany can bring in 3 ships and kill most of the Allied Navy right now. They can do one or the other. They can kill this Navy, which means now the UK only has these ships left, or they could kill this Navy, or they can kick the Allies out of Europe. Even the US is even in, what's that, Austria. So, tough to say what's going to happen here. Not sure what to do, but I think because the UK wasn't able to take this spot back, these units can finally pour through, reinforce, kick them out. Probably going to do that. And maybe it doesn't make sense and I'm not killing this Navy. But I can't do it all. I can kill one of those navies. Or I can kill everything in Europe. So, tough to say. Really tough to say what Germany is going to do because they also want to get down here. And Cairo needs to fall. So there's a lot going on for Germany, who's getting $115 a turn. 116, I think, actually. Both the U.S. and... yeah, both the U.S. and Germany, they're getting the same. One's getting 115 and one's getting 116. So, fun game. I think the U.S. needs to not get distracted by Germany. But Germany's at the point where they're getting out of control. So, U.S. could only build 10 units on the Japanese side. So, the U.S. did build a couple of A couple of these just to see, maybe. And then these are going to use the railroad to get over to the Japanese side. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see what happens in turn 9.